Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.
Welcome to Rugby AM, the great man Benny Westwood. It's his 400th appearance, walking out on the Halliwell Jones Stadium, and we are here, Rugby AM, Warrington versus Catalan. Jonesy, you've got a lot in common with this man. You both played first team in the 90s, 2 of 3 remaining players left playing professional rugby.
That's right, Sim. I've had a few battles with him. He's run over the top of me a fair few times, and I know what it's like to feel the full wrath of Benny Westwood. It's fantastic that he's made that 400 career milestone. I was fortunate to have done that myself 2 games ago, and it's great to be able to witness this old stalwart do the same as well.
Mate, we've got a fantastic action-packed show, loads to do with Benny Westwood, beating Kev Brown down at the Lean Kitchen. We've got a special competition for you out there. One of your children could be the mascot at the grand final thanks to Bachelors. It's exciting.
I love Bachelors, all about the people.
Or whatever. Right now, let's go over to the Lean Kitchen in Wigan and meet Kev Brown. Firstly, it's been a bit of an up and down season. How would you put it into words?
Well, it's been tough, frustrating, and yeah, it's been challenging. But at the same time, you know, it's something that's really tested our character. And you know, winning the last 4 on the bounce is something that we're happy with, and hopefully we can keep up with that momentum now.
How's life as a businessman been? What have you learned in business?
Yeah, well, sometimes this, you know, keeps me sane when things are going tough at rugby, and then things will start going well at rugby, and these lot in here, you know, drive me up the wall. But no, we've got a great staff, and you know, we've got a real good atmosphere in here, and we're starting to get a few people in Wigan knowing a bit more about us now, and we've got a few regulars. It's good, it's going well. £1 million game, I'm going to mention it to you because the loser, lads like Kevin Leroy we saw last year, can lose their jobs. It's a huge implication on a player's career, and it all hinges on one game. There's got to be some protection if it's not going to change. Yeah, I just think the jeopardy of losing your job, and look, not everyone's going to lose the job, but in reality some people will, and they'll have massive pay cuts. Now, I know there's plenty of ways you can get around that. If you do get relegated, you don't deserve to be on the same money that you are playing for Super League, but I think something needs to be agreed where you drop a percentage of your wage if you do get relegated, because planning as a rugby player and as a sportsman, we're not on footballers' wages, and you know, getting mortgages and supporting families is hard at the best of times, and when you have that stress over your head, I've seen players do silly things, and you know, I think that's one of the key things. I've said it before, mentally, if you can keep your mind right, it's sort of like jumping a metre on the floor is pretty easy, but you do it 100 foot up in the air, then it's that sort of jeopardy and that sort of cliffhanger, that's what it is, that's what it's all about.
It's great to see you. It's great to be back here at the Lean Kitchen. We'll enjoy some food and we're going to see this other kitchen area. Top man. Cheers, Kev.
Cheers out.
Right back at the beginning of 2017, I was really excited, Benny, because I think I was one of about 5 players left from the 90s. There was myself, there was you, Leon Price, Gareth Ellis and Andy Lynch from Cast. Now, I always want to be the last man standing. You're still about. I assume you're probably going to go again. But what's it like to reach a 400 career milestone like today?
Yeah, it's massive and something that I'm very proud of, and to play 400 games for one club, and I think it's an achievement in itself, and really proud of it. And I didn't think I'd be here that long when I first signed. I thought, I thought Wakefield were bad, but the changing rooms and the stadium at Witherspoon were even worse. After a few weeks getting to know the boys, and I moved down 2 years later, I kind of knew that I was going to stay here. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it.
What do you remember about your debuts? I know you posted a picture of you making your debut not too long ago.
Yeah, it was strange. It was a bit of a surprise, really. I think we were struggling for players at the time, and I was in the academy, and I was doing all right in the academy, and they gave me a chance on the bench, and I came on for about half an hour at loose forward, I think, and I did all right. But I think one of my first involvements, I think we lost 66-6 in the end. But one of my first involvements were I tried to throw a long pass, and I think Bird or Bird or what, centre or what, I think he intercepted it and went the full length, and I got behind the sticks. Me and my childhood hero Tony Kemp from Cass got behind the sticks and absolutely sprayed me and blamed me for losing game. We were like 50 points up, and my face just went like, it just dropped. But yeah, it was great. And I was supposed to play the week after, and I fell through the shed roof throwing an army action man off the shed. Instead of throwing it out, instead it was a parachute one. So instead of going up to the window and dropping out of the bedroom window, I decided to climb onto the shed, and I went through it. And believe it or not, Gareth Ellis got his shot then. So another career I've created.
If you could go back over them 400 games and pick out one moment, it'll probably be the one that flashes straight up in your mind. Which one would it be?
Sorry for this, Jonesy, but 2010 Challenge Cup final.
Wow.
No, but that was a special day for me, because I managed to walk out with my daughter on Wembley, and there wasn't allowed up on the podium, but we managed to sneak her up, and there's a good old picture of me and her lifting the trophy up there. So that's a special moment, one that sticks to mind.
And now, Benny, we're going to link to listen to what some of your teammates think of you. This is a Benny Westwood teammates.
Enjoyable, tough and dumb.
Yeah. Lazy. Thick. And ugly.
I'd go funny, talented, because there's nothing he can't do, and obviously tough.
Aggressive. Hard-working.
That's two.
A character.
Yeah, he's a funny. I'll go funny guy.
I'd go character, ruthless, energetic.
Funny, hard and ugly.
I'm going to go special, tough, and confident.
It's probably relevant because of this. We're watching the 2009 Challenge Cup final on the screen there. You know, Benny always says that he played in that game with two-tone calves, still to this day. You know, I think he did as well. And it just really just typifies what Benny's about. Tough, uncompromising. You know, he actually thought if he said anything, he might get pulled out of the game. And it turned out he had I think it was a 20 centimetre tear in his calf and got through the game. You know, that's Benny all over.
Well, Benny, he's known for getting dogs and giving them away. So he's been talking about giving his dog away, Trevor, his little French bulldog. So trying to talk him out of that's probably a good highlight.
We played Catalan away, and then obviously there's not much going on where we stop, and then so quite a few boys have a game of cards and stuff like that. So anyway, I think it was the night after the game, and we was waiting for to come home. We was having a game of cards. I just went walking through main reception, and there's nothing going on. There's a few quiet French people sat there, and then next minute here's this tune going up piano. I thought, what's going on here? And then Benny just sat there on his own, played piano on his own.
Mine's probably when we was on Mad Monday in Dublin, and he was it a busker or whatever they called. Took his guitar off him and started singing. He had all the street going. That's probably one of mine.
Yeah, I think on the other side, I think, like I said, watching the cup finals there, we won 3, and to this day, Benny still thinks he was robbed of 3 Lance Todd medals and still blames me and Breezy for stealing 2 of them. So, like I said, he's confident, and I think if you get him up here, he'll tell you that he's been robbed of 3.
He's got to be Superman, isn't it? Super Benny Westwood, Superman. There is nothing Benny Westwood can't do. He'll tell you. There's nothing he can't do, other than play golf. He's absolutely at golf, and take quite a bit of cash off him each week. No, but yeah, definitely Superman.
Superman, because he's Super Benny, innit?
I'd just go with Game of Thrones. I'd go with the Hound, because it looks like him, obviously.
Jon Snow, King of the North.
Oh, what's he called? The one with the burn on the face? The mountain? Not the mountain.
Dwyer.
No. The Hound, yeah, Benny be the Hound.
See, I think he's more the mountain, me.
Nah,
I think he's just maybe that ruthless.
You're thinking too much about it.
Yeah, he definitely a Game of Thrones character. Which one? I don't know. I don't remember most of the names, but he's got that look about him that he would have been okay back in those days. He's the type of bloke that doesn't really need creature comforts of life, and I think he'd be quite happy back in Game of Thrones days. He'd do just fine. I think he'd be more worried about what to give him for trying to get another job after footy, because he doesn't like working long hours. He doesn't like early mornings. So I think he'd better hang on for as long as he can as a footy player, because he could be in some trouble when he retires.
God, it'd be impossible to replace him. The description of guys, you've got to be willing to put your body through hell, because he does. Simple as that. He goes through hell, and you won't even know it. You won't even know it. But like he says, he doesn't train hard in the week. He saves himself for the weekend.
Training's optional.
Training's optional. To be fair, he is better now. He does two days a week, so that's better. And like he says, he's better at it because he's not hungover most of the times now. Back in the day, he was.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry. Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.
Welcome back to part 2 here at Rugby AM, and we're here in rainy Warrington. And to be fair, Bobby Badori from the RFL has pulled a blinder. We should have been down at the community club, Woolston Rovers, for the Bachelors Train With Your Team grand final prize won by the local club. And because the club are so good, Warrington Wolves have allowed the kids to come and train in the band. Here with Neil Kelly, head of the foundation. Mate, it's a great club, and it's full of great people.
Oh, it's just awesome. I mean, this facility's fantastic, and wow, what a, instead of a rainy field, now they're in this training barn where all their heroes are and stuff like that, so amazing.
And you've got a bit of a double bubble today, because your young son is playing with the Woolston under-7s, enjoying a training session now with his heroes.
Oh, no, awesome little arches made up and stuff like that. I said he was going to get wet, like true rugby fan he is, kind of, that he couldn't wait, but then I brought him in and he's just going, wow, Dad, look at this. So he's made up, and now to see, training with the guys, like, it's fantastic.
As you can see in the background, they've got a tackle back drill. Do you remember doing this as a young player, Joe?
Yeah, I do. Fond memories. We still do it now sometimes, big kids. But yeah, no, it's good. It's good to get involved with the kids and help them about.
Mate, the Train With Your Team competition is something Baxter's run last year. A local Warrington team winning it, and the video they put out to enter was absolutely fantastic. What do you remember? Which club was your amateur club?
I played for the Culture Eagles back when I was a young whippersnapper, and we used to do all sorts. But like, it's picked up massively recently, and it's good to see.
As a young player coming through, really making your mark this year on the first team, what piece of advice would you give to any young player maybe watching the show now, wanting to become a professional and follow in your footsteps?
I reckon just enjoy it, just keep enjoying it, and you'll keep doing well. And when you stop enjoying it, that's when you start struggling. So just keep a smile on your face, like these have in the background here, and you'll do all right.
Mate, it's been a tough year. Are you still enjoying it this year? Because you're in the middle eights, but embracing it. Catalan coming to Warrington this week in the big game. It's going to be a tough test.
Yeah, it's not ideal for us. Obviously, like we know that's not where we want to be, but we're there now, so we've just got to knuckle down, and we've set a few targets in house what we want to do, and so we want to get this job done and then try and have a focus on next year.
Because you run with the ball and you score tries and you get tackled. Because it's a good team and we play together.
Anything else? No. Physical. Any other reasons? No. Cheers, mate. Thanks. Stand up.
You play good and we call that tackling.
Right.
Because you can get a trophy when you win the final. Because it's the best team ever in the world. A good team, and they used to mess around, now they're concentrating, so I'm really happy about it, so that's it.
It's great. That's it. Thanks, mate.
I'm here with the saviour of the day, Bobby Badori. quick thinking when it was torrential down at Woolston, quick phone call to the club, and Warrington have allowed us to come in for the Train Your Team activity with bachelors into the barn. It's really saved the day.
Yeah, big thanks to Warrington there. Absolutely poured it down from pretty much since 12 o'clock today, so fantastic that we've been able to do it here. Fantastic that they've got these facilities, so yeah, real save the day for us.
Bachelors have been a real good partner for Super League. It's important for the game that we get more people coming in and realising that the boys are accessible, everyone in the community loves the game, and they're always it's a giving game for his partners.
Oh yeah, very much so. We've kept bachelors Mushy Peas, now they're in the second year, obviously through Prince's Foods, their holding company, but they're in the second year of their partnership, and it's just gone from strength to strength.
I'm stood pitch side as the kids play in the background with junior section chair Johnny Roberts from the Woolston Rovers, and it is the largest junior section in the local area.
Yes, it definitely is. It's growing at a massive pace at the moment. We've got the luxury of having over 300 kids registered with the team.
300 kids?
Yeah, and like I say, it is growing at an alarming rate.
What do you put your success down to? Why so popular?
I think it's the way the club's run, to be truthful, from the committee to the coaches. Without the coaches, we wouldn't be in the position that we are. But it's things like this where they're entering competitions and they're coming out successful with them, So having the luxury of training in the barn and the local rugby league clubs working with us.
You can't hear this right now, but up above it is thunderstorm, torrential rain. You can hear it in here, but it's crazy, crazy weather, and the club have been so good. One phone call, and they've moved all the kids into the barn to make sure this is fantastic for these kids.
Yeah, we moved the earth for these kids, where it's all down to them playing and enjoying the game and seeing the smiles on the faces as they're tackling as well and enjoying it. That's what it's all about for me, is making sure that the kids are happy, enjoying what they're doing, loving the sport, and that's all for me.
Bachelors Train Your Team competition. It's a fantastic engagement for kids, and it must be fantastic to see some of the superstars from Warrington as well down, really getting involved as well and getting stuck in with the kids.
Yeah, you can see some of the reactions on the faces with some of these tackles that are going in from like these 6-year-old kids. Like, you got Ashton over there and cringing a bit at some of these big hits from these kids, and the future is looking good for them, to be truthful.
I'm here with Thor, aka Ashton Sims, big friend of the show.
Yeah.
Since your journey down at Warrington, you've been on the show regularly over the last couple of years. Are you part of the British lifestyle now? Are you fully into it, committed?
I think so, yeah, I assume so. I've been here for 3 years now, and it's been a life-changing movement. It's been great. Missus and kids love it over here, and I've got a young daughter who was born in Warrington, so it's always going to be a part of me, isn't it?
You've got a pom?
Nah, well, I thought I did, but they're not going to give her British citizenship. She's still an Aussie, so not to worry.
Mate, you've come down today to help with the Train With Your Team activity.
Yeah.
It's fantastic to see young local kids get the opportunity to come into the Warrington band, because this facility is unbelievable.
It is. It's really good, mate. We use this 24/7. You know what I mean? The elements obviously aren't great outside, but I remember being a 7-year-old kid like that, and I'm tipping I would have been outside, mucking around in the mud and the wet, and I just think it's a great initiative.
Mate, this season's been a tough carry after the highs of last season. In the qualifiers, the middle eights, and it's going to be different for the fans and for the team to go to some places like Halifax, like Featherstone, but it's a great challenge.
You know what, man, it's been a bit of an emotional rollercoaster, hasn't it? We had the high of, beating the Broncos in the World Club Series at the start of the year, and what happened last year to being in here now. But you know what, man, I've always been a glass half full kind of guy. It's what you make of it, and we know the teams like London and OKR and Fev and all that. They're going to come in and rocking and rolling hard. So it's going to be a tough little competition, man. We're not taking it lightly. We're not taking it we're taking it for what it's worth, and it's going to be tough.
And it's real jeopardy, because people could lose their jobs, lifestyles could change. Like last year, we saw the Kevin Leroy story.
Yeah.
Really, really tough for Kevin sorting himself out of Castleford now, but it's a real worry for players.
It is, man. It's there's no two ways about it. It's actually your job on the line. I've seen a lot of people comment about it, a lot of tweets, and it's you know what I mean. It's the game we play now. It's that cutthroat business, and I read that story on that Leroy kid, and you couldn't help but feel for him. But we certainly don't want to be in that situation.
I think one thing to take away from the position you're in now is it happened to Leeds last year.
Yeah.
They finished strong. This year they've come back again, and although they won the treble, you were only, I think, 7 or 8 minutes away from the treble last year. It was so close.
Yeah, both games, the grand final and the Challenge Cup final were so close there. But it's something that we're all thinking about at the moment, and we just want to do good by not just ourselves, but for the fans too, who are stuck in all year. We're still getting great crowds at the HJ, and we can't thank the fans enough for sticking through what's been a pretty tumultuous year.
Fantastic, the Tremio team. The next big thing with Bachelors, I'm so excited, Jonesy, because we're running the Tea Time Heroes competition on rugbym.co.uk, and you, one of your children, you've got to be under 12, could be the mascot of the grand final.
Mate, seriously, no messing about. I love mushy peas. I think pie and peas is one of the best dishes, northern dishes you can have, and having peas all over it. I love it. What is the Tea Time Heroes competition going to consist of?
Go to rugbym.co.uk, enter your child to win, to be a mascot at the grand final, and you could get a knock on the door with a can of steel, myself, Alex Simmons, and a superstar player featured in the grand final, whizzing your youngster off to be the mascot, and you out, and your family for a VIP day at the grand final, and you could win that. rugbym.co.uk. Part 3 coming up. It's going to be epic. The Yorkshire versus Lancashire train, the legend game coming 30th of August. I'm excited.
I can't wait. We've been to both sets of training sessions. Lancashire took it really seriously. I saw Yorkshire smash Lancashire in the T20 this week, and I can't wait to see them smash them at Carnegie Stadium.
Stay tuned for more.
30th.
Part 3 coming up.
Be there.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry. Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.
Two of my favourite cast people, these two right here, Danny Orr and the Wagga Taurus. I think Wagga's been a phenomenon this year on the show. He's really grown into a presenting role after Dupe League, after running around, melting down because he had jam on his head, presenting it with Kyle Jamore. Wagga, you're really starting to enjoy it, mate.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. It's great to be involved in the show, keeping involved in Rugby League. We have some great times, obviously, thanking you, Jonesy, and everyone at Rugby M. It's just awesome to get to the games, see the fans, and have some fun, Simo.
Wagga, tonight training has been stepped up a notch. The chat were good. The boys came down, 17 legends, proper legends, turned up for this training session, and I think it shouts to Lancashire that you mean business.
Of course we mean business. There's a lot of talk on Twitter at the minute. I've been putting some videos out there. Plenty of banter with Stephen Wild, Glees, the lads. But I'm really, really excited about this challenge. Tonight, packing down with Kylie Lulawai and JP at Edinley. You never get a chance to play with them two legends, do you, Simo? So, like tonight, good to see Radders again, Yemo, have a little bit of a pass around with Razza, Danny, Johnny Etworth, Pricey. It's just awesome.
And Danny, you've got your half shirt, number 6, and first thing you said to me the other day, and this is how I know we were serious, you went, who's kicking then? Who's kicking?
Yeah, I looked at the list, there's only me who can goal kick. I think, you do a bit, can't you? So there's no pressure. Last time I goal kicked to Tommy Groin, so not looking forward to that one, but I'll do it.
We've called a parlay. We've agreed to be friends for 10 minutes. I'm here with Sam Tompkins, the coach of the Lancashire team. Sam, I was quite surprised at how good that session looked. I'm a bit worried, actually. I've been seeing the Yorkshire session, but taking it quite serious, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I think when I turned up today for training, I weren't sure how serious it was going to be, but as soon as we got there, Glees was talking tactics, Longy was doing the same, so it's pretty full on. Everyone's excited about it. It's going to be a great occasion, but yeah, there's certainly pumped some of the lads.
Mate, we'll put our hands together.
Not sure about this.
We're not sure.
Let's pretend.
Get down. We're going to take over the world. We're going to bring it back. Yorkshire versus Lancashire, the biggest powers in the game are all over it. Now, we're on about Yorkshire. It's come back. We're bringing it back in a Legends format. Now, Yorkshire haven't been around since you've been playing Super League, which is unfortunate because you would have no doubt have played for Yorkshire. Is it something you look forward to representing and bringing back?
I'm really excited about it. I was to tell the truth. We've just finished our training session here, and driving down here, I was really nervous about it. I've not had much coaching experience, and I don't know, the lads that well. Some of them. But I tell you what, it was so enjoyable to get around them, and they all loved training. I think that was the best bit, watching them smile, running around, and that's what rugby is. That's why you play rugby in the first place when you're a kid, and watching the older heads do that tonight was great.
Now, really quickly, I've got to get this off our chest. We've got a meeting this week about some of the finer details. And you might have seen on the Rugby AM show a few weeks back, Alex Simmons going to a bird sanctuary of some sorts with Danny Kermond, and he's fallen in love with birds of prey. I said if we'd have had a medieval tint to it, Yorkshire versus Lancashire Civil War-esque, we might have been able to do it. You can't see the worth in it. I'm wondering what everybody else sees in there. Alex Simmons behind the camera, tell us your rationale for not having the players walk out with birds of prey on your game night.
Well, you just mentioned the medieval thing. I'm more of a modern day man. And if a bird of prey goes out and picks some kid up and flies off with it, I don't know how I'm going to solve that financially for the insurance things, or even, it's not happening.
Everybody remember it though, wouldn't it? If that did happen, hypothetically it won't, but it would be memorable.
Legend is a word that's just thrown about nowadays too often, but for this Yorkshire-Lancashire game between Hawley, Rugby AM and Glees, we've got some absolute A-class legends on shore, including this man, Gary Connolly, the legend of Wigan, played at Leeds, mate, a fantastic career, and you're pulling the boots back on one more time for Gleeson and Lancashire boys. Training tonight, does it feel weird going back to training?
Yeah, I don't know where I got these boots from, but yeah, they're not very dirty, but it's nice meet up with all the boys, and I do a charity match now and again. It was about 2 years ago since I did a charity match, so it's nice to go on the park and just have a run around, but glad it's tick and not tattle.
It's all for Martin Gleeson's testimonial, and the idea is that this will be an annual game, and legends like yourself could apply for it to be your testimonial going further on in the future. It's good for some ex-players who might not have the money they used to get when they're playing to have a bit of money put their way and obviously celebrate the career.
Yeah, doing 10 years in the game, or a lot of people do a lot more of these, like Mozart, I think he did 20 years in the game. He did a double testimonial.
He did
it? Oh, the greedy, I won't say what. So it's great to be recognised by people in your peers that, like Glees had a fantastic turnout, so everyone knows Glees was a great player, so, it's just good to get on and support people if they want a testimonial going, and what better way to have a game to celebrate that.
Mate, I'll let you get back out there. I think you're being missed there running around. Top man Gary Connolly.
Cheers, buddy. Thanks, mate.
Okay, Keeman, centre.
Graham Price, winger, aka Flash.
Robbie Hunter Paul, formerly Robbie Paul, and I'm definitely a Yorkshire lad.
Danny Mills, winger.
Millsy, lad! Oh, Millsy! Oh, Millsy!
Monuino, left centre.
It's Norman, it's Buggy. Jordy.
You and Dow's prop forward.
Kylie. Centre. Go on, Charlie.
Johnny out, fullback.
Wayne Godwin, hooker. Nickname Wagataurus.
Shall we speed up, Wagger? Wait.
JP.
Every time I see you got a different colour there. So you can't hear them and everywhere.
Prop.
Lee Radford. Standoff.
Come on,
Matt Coleridge, winger.
Union.
Danny off. Stand off.
King of Jonesbury.
Gilly. Second row, Yorkshire origin.
Go on, Gilly. Go on, Gilly.
Still Chris Storman. Still Spuggy. The Yorkshireman.
Oh, Spuggy, fuck.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry. Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.
I managed to pull out an ex-teammate of mine and I do miss him. I love him to bits, Paulie Ayton. I'd give you a big cuddle, mate, but you're sweating up a storm there. You always work your behind off. That's why I loved you so much. You've worked hard tonight, mate. 24 points usually would be enough to win a game, but defence wasn't quite there.
No, not mate. It's quite scary, this Super 8 stuff. First time I've been involved in it, and it's extremely scary. And you got two normally top 4, top 5 teams in the bottom 8, so it's a pretty tough game today.
It's always tough for Catalan. Obviously, you've got to travel away, and there's not much of an atmosphere for you guys. So whether you do something well or whether you do something bad, it's really tough, isn't it? Feedback. There's no carrot and stick. How have you found that challenge?
Yeah, exactly, mate. Especially especially being my old club, being Leeds, and you're playing in front of big crowds every week. They say you don't really notice it much out there, but you do, mate. You know when your fans are behind you and when they're right, pushing you all the way.
Absolutely. And what sort of challenges will you face in these next few games? Because it's imperative, really, for the whole of Super League. I think that Catalan obviously stay up. We want to grow the game in France, and it's big for them Catalonians as well.
Oh, extremely, mate. I've had to think about it myself. I just not only my own job and the fans and the club. I think about the game itself, and it's big, mate. It's really big for us.
Yeah.
It's big for the game down there, mate. I think if the Dragons aren't in France, I don't know what's going to happen to league down there. So.
Really important win today because Catalan are a danger team.
Yeah, it's obviously, like you said, it's not what we want to be in the middle eights, but like you said, to come out and play like we've been doing the last couple of weeks, it's been a positive move, and it's all we can ask for, really. And like I said, the last months we've played awesome, so yeah, it's a step in the right direction.
Well, what have you learnt about yourself and about you boys as a team? Because I just said to Jonesy there, you know what, Warrington are full of good young English players, and he just went, that's Tony Smith. He went through it in 2004, and he's really building a nucleus of good young English players here.
Yeah, we have, like Joe Philbin, Deck Patton. They're all coming through. Hervey Levette, he's been injured with his hamstring, but we've got loads of players coming through. And like you said, if someone's injured, like Kev Brown and Kurt Gidley's been out for quite a few games with injuries and stuff like that when people stepped in. So it's always a positive move. And like you said, Tony's breeded that into the club.
Deck Patton told us, didn't he, for teammates, he's the best half-back in the club without a doubt, Joe.
He wishes. I'm better half-back than that. Deck works hard in his game and training, and I think we all do, and we've probably took training up to a new level these last few weeks, and you can really see it in the game. So yeah, obviously it's a shame the way we started the season, but we're happy with our form at the minute now.
Mate, lastly, mate, World Cup year, you have the old kilt on again.
Yeah,
going over there for
looking
the World Cup,
forward
looking forward to it.
The Scots, we're really looking forward to it, and I think we've got a real good team as well to put out there. So yeah, build on last year and hopefully get a good performance in and get up the table.
Are the budgies packed already for the sunshine?
Oh no, nothing, no budgies, just nothing under the kilt.
I reckon he might have a better
nothing under the kilt.
Yeah, nothing under the kilt, like he says.
Nothing under the kilt.
Leave it to the imagination.
From an ex-teammate in Paul Ayton to a new teammate next year, but he's still got a big job to do here at Catalan. Richie Myler. Richie, just first of all, you know a lot about Ben Westwood. You graced his pitch with him, played a lot of years. It's great to see him get out there. His 400th game, isn't it?
It's amazing. For the way he plays the game, it's outstanding for him. When you see him in the gym training, he's not the best trainer, but something in his head switches on as soon as he crosses that white line, and he's unbelievable. And to play 400 games the way he plays it is exceptional, really.
It's interesting, mate. Whether you'd have stayed at Warrington or been at Catalan, you'd probably never have thought you'd be playing in a game like this in that middle eights. How have you found that challenge this year?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, obviously, we've found ourselves where we are at the minute, and we've got a lot of work to do. I mean, obviously, when you toss up a little bit that first 20 minutes as we did against Warrington, a side like Warrington, they're going to blow you away, and that's exactly what they did, and unfortunately we just weren't good enough today.
Well, I was just saying to Paul Ayton, 24 points in a tight game, in a sort of playoff game, is enough to win them usually. Is that where you'll be focusing on next week, your defence?
Yeah, definitely. I think our start's got to be more impressive than that. I think we were well off and we didn't complete, and that just we compound it with errors as well, so they know they shouldn't be in this middle eights as well. So I mean, we got a hand kicked to us today, so we know we have to regroup and go again next week.
I tried to go on the Sky Bet this morning and bet that you'd be man of the match on your 400th appearance, and they won't take your bet, surprisingly, mate.
No,
but you did have an outstanding game. You've just been happy with that performance, mate.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're good to get the win, and the last 3 times I played 3 times in 3 months, I think, and I think we've won by 50 each time, so that's telling you something.
That's telling you something. New deal on the table, Jack and Fitzy.
Simon, sit. Proof's in the pudding.
Proof's in the pudding, mate. Fantastic occasion. Warrington really know how to put a party on. You've signed autographs, you're giving everything away. What are you going to give? Are you going to give us your shorts?
Well, you can have my shorts.
We'll have your shorts and put them on Wall Rugby. Benny Westwood's 400th game. You have to go, but mate, congratulations on an amazing career. You happy with that? You going to go again next year?
Yeah, Dave, it's just what I mean. It feels like it's like last game.
It feels like it's the last game, doesn't it?
Oh, it's nice.
It's still got it in the tank.
It's only 400.
Plenty in the tank, sir.
It's only 400.
It's fantastic to hear from the boys there, catching up with a former teammate and a new teammate, Jonesy.
Yeah, it was. I miss Paul Ayton. And
he was
dripping with sweat, mate. And the reason being because he just grass for 80 minutes. He'll fly out of the line. He knocks people's head off. I remember Brad Singleton saying once that all he wants for Christmas is a hooker that'll defend in middle, and they're like gold dust, and Paul Ayton is like that. Good to see him as well, great bloke. And then an upcoming teammate as well, Richie Myler. Obviously got a big job to do.
Mags though.
I know. Mags will always be a piece of my heart. He'll be there on the pitch with me for whatever games I've got left.
You have to look here?
No, I'm definitely not. Definitely not. But Richie Myler, good lad, looking forward to playing with him. But both of them got a big job to do first for Catalan.
Right, if you didn't see the part in the show earlier when we talked about the amazing Tea Time Heroes campaign, the competition we are running with Bachelors to get one of your children on the pitch walking out as a mascot for the grand final, check out rugbyam.co.uk and you can have a VIP day out as well. Finishing the show, as always, with UK Red Fire and Security Fan Cam. And it's a special one because it's the fans talking about the love, the main man, Benny Westwood.
Benny Westwood have got some girls, boys, some young kids, older people, all the fans just appreciating what Benny Westwood's done right here on this pitch for many, many years.
Big thanks for everyone watching Rugby AM. Next week, we're in our hometown of Leeds. The last stand, an emotional day as the South Stand comes down for the last time. You're playing Saints, who are in fantastic form.
Yeah, do you know what? It was built by a company I think called Cooper's back in about 1930s, and they built the cast stand, they built the Featherstone stand, they built the old Hunslet stand, and obviously Headingley as well. And there's a lot of history and heritage, and it's a massive game for us against St Helens, particularly after what happened at Wakefield last week, which we don't talk about anymore. But it'll be a big event, and everybody's looking forward to it.
Both teams coming off surprising results, with Saints getting beat and Leeds getting pumped. I've seen Liam Finnelly let you out of his pocket for about 5 minutes, but don't worry about that, Jonesy lad! Right now, check out UK Red Fire and Security Fan Cam. Thanks for watching.
Let's go to work. Let's go to work.
UK Red Fire and Security Fan Cam here at the Halliwell Jones, and it's a special fan cam. It's Benny Westwood cam. We're going to ask some proper Warrington fans all about Super Benny.
Certainly is. I've got all the respect in the world for Benny Westwood as a player, but the fans know him much better than what we do, and we wanted to ask some pretty quirky questions about Benny Westwood on his 400th career appearance. Now, if the only way to save the world was to go back in time 10 years and find somebody else to replace Ben Westwood, who would it be?
Les Boyd.
Les Boyd.
Les Boyd, easy.
Yeah, every day.
Why Les Boyd?
Because he was
He's
an animal for wire.
And he's like that with Benny.
Yeah.
Benny's his son.
Played it tough, didn't he?
Yeah, he's got to have Les Boyd's blood in him, Benny. He's got to have.
We're here with the Culture of Eagle under 8. Boys, it's a very special day today. It's Benny Westwood's 400th game for ever. He's old. He's really old. What do you think of Benny Westwood?
He's a good player. He's a good player. He's quite strong in the middle.
Yeah. Do you think he's ugly though?
No.
He's a good-looking guy?
Kind of, yeah.
I don't mind that. Boys, are you big Benny Westwood fans?
Yes.
What has he given to this club?
Royal. USC Benny.
Yeah, everything.
He's an engineer of the pack.
I hope he comes round again. He's worth it.
Are you a big Warrington fan?
Yeah.
Well, Benny's going to be retiring in a few years, probably till he's 40. Who could he get to replace him?
Oh, flipping heck. Yeah, do you... I don't know. You can't let him go, can we? We can't let him go.
Indestructible. Do you reckon Benny Westwood is a fair player or a dirty player?
I think he will be like a fair player. He doesn't really do dirty tackles.
No. Jonesy, what do you reckon? You've been on a fair few.
I think Benny Westwood is a tough player. I don't think he's got any bad intentions. Sometimes he gets it wrong and catches a few highbrows or a few chins, but that's what aggressive players do. Would you agree, boys?
Yeah.
One word apiece to describe Benny. You ready?
Fit. Awesome. Amazing. Super.
Generous.
Inspirational. Superb. Fit. Fantastic.
That's it, Benny. You've got all these girls on side from the Liveware programme. Absolutely outstanding. Let's go meet some more fans.
When he does go, somebody's going to have to write a job description for the successor of Benny Westwood. If you was to write it, if it was down to the fans to advertise for the next person, what would your advertisement say?
Yeah, you've got to be super. First name super. You can't replace Benny Westwood.
No, it's irreplaceable, isn't it?
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.